Well, good morning. A couple days ago, we just finished harvesting a field that was in full season cover last year. And up here in this arid climate, we have a lot of trouble with yield drag following those full season covers. So this year we set up a test plot that had no UAN, 5 gallons of UAN on a bulk of the field, and then 10 gallons of UAN and some strips. And I'm going to show you how we use Climate Field View to see what kind of return we actually got out of that UAN. This stuff looked pretty nitrogen stressed early on, so that's why we figured this would be a good place to see if we'd still get a return on that. So as you can see, here's my application on the screen that we're looking at right now. The green would be where there was 10 gallons of UAN, the orange where there's 5 gallons, and then there's about 50 acres of this field where we did nothing. And so I'm going to do what's called a region report or a yield analysis, and it's going to show me exactly how many bushels we lost by not applying X number of gallons of nitrogen here. So I'm going to switch this from applications to yield here. I'm going to go to harvest and to yield. So this is going to pop up our yield map. You can see there obviously was some big differences in these check strips. Where the red's at is where there's 0. Where the green line is at in the middle, that's where it's 10 gallons. But I want to have it tell me, hey, sort out all these applications and tell me what really made a difference here. So I'm going to do a region report. I'm going to draw this rectangle around this field. And this thing's going to take and chug along here and pop up a report that's going to show us what the different applications were, what difference that made to the yield. And in this scenario, you're going to see 10 gallons of UAN versus 5 bought us about 5 more bushels of barley. 0 versus 5 got us about 5 more bushels of barley. So we're getting about a bushel of barley per gallon of UAN in this scenario, which is still a return, right? I think a gallon of UAN is pretty close to $3. A bushel of barley is $5. So it gave us a return, but it obviously was a lot of difference in yield. I mean, from 20 to 30 is quite a bit, right? Even though this whole field was pretty stressed, and this year was weird, so that wasn't a great yield. But it gave us a lot better yield. It gave us a return this year, and that tells us, hey, you know, this stuff isn't cycling right after we did cover crops. So here's my report. It popped up on the screen, as you can see. It says the field as a whole did 25. Then it shows me all of my applications, and if any of them made a significant difference in yield. And I'm going to click on the 32 UAN with the hydrohume. When I click on that, at the bottom now it's sorting through all the application rates that I did. And once it figures that out, it takes it a second to run this through its brain here. Then go down here and see 10 gallons or more was 31 bushels an acre, 8 to 10 was 32. So all the 10 gallon plots were about 30 plus. The 3 to 5 stuff was about 26, and then when we didn't apply it at all, that's where we knew this field had an issue, and we wanted to know for sure that it was nitrogen, because sometimes the tissue test won't even show that early on. But if we miss that stage when it's stooling, that's where we really get dinged on yield. So where we didn't apply any UAN on that 50 acres, it only averaged 20. So even though we've been doing all this regen stuff and we're getting the soil cycling better, which there's no doubt that is happening, nitrogen still gives us a return in small amounts at least. So we knew that'd be the case probably on this field. I just thought maybe later on in the season it would catch up, but it really didn't. So just want to show you how we use climate and let you know that we're still having issues kind of following cover crop. And I'll, at the end of the season, do a lot more of this analysis so you guys can kind of get a handle on how much of this is working and how much we've sort of had fall on its face. And we're on the home stretch of harvest. Hope you guys are doing great.